Hello everyone. Today on Vinky's Thoughts, we finally conclude the Canticle of Threnodies. Yay! There is an end to it. And it's funny because of the interludes and everything, but as you can tell with makeup and costume, some of these are pre-recorded, recorded all at once, and then not released all at once, obviously. So it's kind of funny how it all works out. Anyway, so Threnodies 8 is kind of a mishmash. It's a little like, you know, parts of it make more sense, parts of it make less sense, parts of it are more repetitive. It's like you have one part describing something and then another part describing the same thing but very differently. And it's kind of mix and match of stuff. There are various sources and quotes from these verses, and so it's difficult to paint a coherent picture. So Threnodies 8 is kind of like the Canticle of Silence. It paints the invasion and corruption of the Golden City by the Tevinter Magisters and talks a bit about the first blight. And the chantry claims that this is what resulted in the very first blight from this desecration. No matter their power, their triumphs, the mage lords of Tevinter were men and doomed to die, meaning they weren't immortal. They weren't eternal, like the eternal city, or like elves previously were. They were men. They were humans, not elves. Then a voice whispered within their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power to time like the beasts of the fields?" Power or immortality? Choices, choices. You are lords of the earth. Go forth and claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods. The throne that Corypheus claims was indeed empty to begin with, that Andrastians claim the Maker sat in. In secret they worked magic upon magic. Blood magic, obviously, as we know. All their power and all their vanity. Yes, vanity. We know from the Canticle of Silence how they sacrificed 100 slaves in a blood magic ritual. They turned against the veil until at last it gave way. Remember how it shattered to let them in? Above them, a river of light, because they were drawn. Before them, the throne of heaven waiting. Beneath their feet, the footprints of the Maker, and all around them echoed a vast silence. Yes, it was in silence that the choir of silence had ascended towards the city. But when they took a single step, that's more than one step, towards the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth. And so is the golden city blackened with each step you take in my hall. As I recall, in silence, it was when they touched the doors first. Or as we speculated, it was black to begin with. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. If he's referring to the paradise, then at this point in time, it's already gone. You have brought sin to heaven. Yes, the first sin, the original sin. And doom upon all the world. The name of the mission in Inquisition to defeat Corypheus. Violently were they cast down, like fireballs as I recall. For no mortal may walk bodily in the realm of dreams. Yet it's now been done a few times and twice by the Inquisitor. How many times? 2. Bearing the mark of their crime. Bodies so maimed and distorted that none should see them and know them for men, but as darkspawn. This describing them becoming darkspawn, as described in previous canticles. Deep into the earth they fled, away from the light. In darkness eternal they searched for those who had goaded them on, until at last they found their prize, their god, their betrayer. Well, they found Dumont. The sleeping dragon Dumont. Well, exactly. But as I recall, they were scattered by the Archon. So this comes way later. Their taint twisted even the false god, and the whisperer awoke at last in pain and horror, and led them to wreak havoc upon all the nations of the world, the first blight. Were the dragons corrupted already? Like, firstly corrupted? If the dragons are the Evanurus, and they are the ones who planted the idea, and then they would be corrupt, it would change them. It wouldn't necessarily make that much sense. So maybe the Whisperers are the Forgotten Ones, as we discussed in previous canticles, because I don't think they would want to be corrupted. And so not only are they imprisoned, but they're corrupted, like a double prison. Speculations upon speculations. In the absence of light, shadows thrive. There in the depths of the earth they dwelled, spreading their taint as a plague, growing in number, until they were a multitude. And together they searched ever deeper, deeper and deeper in the deep roads, until they found their prize, their god, their betrayer. So this is like another little snippet, slightly different, practically the exact same thing. And down they fled into darkness and despair. So are darkspawn actually creatures? They're creatures of corruption, but are they remotely aware that they are corrupted and unable to control themselves? Like someone, like the mind of someone being trapped by inside a demon, and they're doing things and they're seeing it happen, but they're not in control? Is it that? Or are they just like cuckoo in the head and they're just like completely gone, completely transformed? Here's another little variation of the account of what happened. Those who had been cast down, the demons who would be gods, began to whisper to men from their tombs within the earth. And the men of Tevinter heard and raised altars to the pretender gods once more, and in return were given, in hushed whispers, the secrets of darkest magic. Okay, so this goes back a little bit more. And again, the name of the mission in Inquisition when choosing to side with the mages. In hushed whispers, as mentioned in the beginning of Threnodies. But it was not worship the false gods craved. No, because they're already in prison and they seek to be freed. They seek escape. They urged the Magisters to ever greater depravity, rewarding them with power and more. So they taught them blood magic, ultimately, and they were rewarding them every time they delivered on their rituals. Arrogance became a great caged beast in the lands of Tevinter, an emptiness that consumed all and could never be filled. Well, that's what the Maker created, to an all-consuming hunger that will never be fulfilled. To satisfy its hunger, the mage lords, at the goading of their gods, assaulted the golden city. The Maker's doing, because the gods in the Maker's image craving more, humans craving more. So it's like, why are you attacking me? Oh, right, because I made you into these beings who always wanted more. So assaulted the golden city, heart of all creation, to take the Maker's power for themselves, always wanting more. With magic born of mingled blood and lyrium, which is blood, the Tevinter broke into the Maker's house. They broke in. It's a lockpick. But the promised power did not await them there. No, because apparently it was the throne was empty, and it was already black, as Corypheus claims. The moment they entered the city of the Maker, their sin poisoned it, or was already poisoned. What had been golden turned black, or what had been told was golden, was already black. And violently, they were flung from the world of dreams back into the waking world, twisted and corrupted by their crime and their magic into monsters. Twisted and corrupted, like Darth Vader. They fled underground, unable to bear the light of day. The first darkspawn. So a slightly different account, more descriptive than the other one about the first darkspawn, and beings who roam mostly at night because they can't stand the light. Threnodies 12. At last we come to the end. Those who had sought to claim heaven by violence destroyed it. What was golden and pure turned black. Those who had once been mage lords, the brightest of their age, were no longer men but monsters. Darkspawn. So yes, we know this. Tell me something I don't know, huh? All that the Maker has wrought in his hand. Which one? Beloved and precious to him. Where the Maker has turned his face away is a void in all things. In the world, in the fade, in the hearts and minds of men. So this is an explanation of what the void is. And even the dwarves refer to the void, the anvil of the void, although they don't exactly believe in the Maker. Passing out of the world, in that void shall they wander. The darkspawn will wander. Oh, unrepentant, faithless, treacherous, they who are judged and found wanting shall know forever the loss of the Maker's love. Only Our Lady shall weep for them. That's Andraste. But what I find strange is that it's explaining that because they turned away from the Maker, they'll know the loss of the Maker's love. Okay, fine. But the Maker had already turned away from them. Like with the spirits, he was bored and he had turned his love away from them already. And he wasn't happy and he turned his love away already. Like I mentioned before, parental abandonment, parental neglect, causing the children to grow up to become changed, immoral, always wanting more, craving more for the lack that they had in childhood. And so is it any wonder that they crave more? They didn't get it from the Maker, and so now they crave more, and because they crave more, they get even less from the Maker. It's very akin to a cycle of abuse, and it's a shame. But to be fair, the Maker created all this. The Maker made this happen. Or did he? Do you agree? Do you agree or disagree that the Maker made all this happen? That it's all his own fault? Anyway, this finally concludes the Canticle of Threnodies.
Yeah!
Yes!
In next videos, there'll be more canticles, there'll be more analyses. Since I'm filming this before I'm ready to do other stuff, I'm not sure if I'm going to start something else. There's something else that I've been working on, but there's a lot of parts to it. I'm arranging images to accompany certain analyses because I really want these analyses to be as accurate as possible. But I'm working on something pretty big. If I'm able to, I'll start it soon. But as soon as I'm ready to film the first video about it, I will be telling you more about it. That's for sure. But it's pretty big. I can give you another tease. I can give you a clue of what it is. The clue is that it's 78 times big, which I think gives it away, but maybe I'm just being cryptic again, and you're like, huh? But anyway, more analyses and more canticles to come. Lots more fun videos for us to explore. Be sure to like the video and share it with anyone you think will enjoy it. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Please leave comments. I'm really curious to know what you guys think about my theories that the maker is the one who created all of this. I really enjoy debating with you guys. And yeah, I'll see you all soon. Maseranas. Be sure to check out some of my other stuff, and remember to buy video games at a discounted price and support me at no additional cost to you. Just follow my G2A affiliate link. To learn more how that can help you as well, you can watch my full explanation video on that. Thanks for tuning in.